How are you guys?
Great.
Good. How are you?
I am very well. I appreciate you talking to me. I have been a dancer since I was 4 years old, but I'm also 6 feet tall. So I never did point because I was like, there's just no way I'll ever have a partner. So I absolutely am the perfect audience for this and
Wow.
loved every second of all the dancing. So thank you.
Thank you.
That's really wonderful to
That's
hear.
really good to hear.
You've been talking about that being too tall.
Yeah, that was like something that's one of my talking points is that I'm a very tall person. So I get it. It's hard to dance.
Well, that's what you
if you're
heard when
tall.
you were when
Yeah,
you were
I was
young,
when I was
right?
like 8 or 9. I danced when I was a kid for like a few years, and then I had my first growth spurt, and they were like, "You are going to be too tall to be a dancer, so like you shouldn't even try." And I was like, "Okay, I'll just do something else then." And that was the end of it. That was like the end of my dance career.
Yeah, I was like 9 years old and became 6 feet tall, and they were like, "You're not going to have a partner." So yeah,
You get it. I grew like 6 inches.
Absolutely.
It was crazy. And then they were like, you, sorry. Anyway.
Well, I've read that this was a project that involved finding a filmmaker who could turn this into a film for you guys, which, like, how cool is that? What made you want to tell this story? What was it that made you see a movie in this story? How did all that happen?
Yeah, I was working with Sarah when my manager first told me about the book. We were shooting Looking for Alaska, and she was an amazing support during that process. And so we had just talked about wanting to do something kind of physical and new challenge. And I was very out of my body, and I really wanted to explore certain things just within that, and female relations and friendship and competition, and as well as what my character goes through, which is, she just lost her twin, her other half, and she's coping, and she's trying to I don't know, get by. And then at the end of it, the way that she begins her healing process was really powerful to me. So I was really excited about doing that. And then Diana was everyone wanted her to be involved, and I had just heard of her, but I was really excited about that too, and about Kate's journey and all that she goes through, and all the different themes.
Yeah. But by the time it came to me, it was Sarah Adina Smith is going to do this film, and they want like Kristine Froseth is already like is on board. Like, are you on board? And I met with Sarah, and we got a drink, and she gave me this grand pitch and told me all of the things that was going to happen in this film, and like what was going to happen with Kate, and like, am I cool? Am I down to train to be a ballerina? And I was like, yes, and yes. So it was just, I was like, it would be really fun to explore someone who starts off with such a clean moral compass, and then is just like slowly but surely deteriorates into like, what am I willing to do to achieve greatness? And I hadn't played anyone like that, and that is a theme that I was like really interested in exploring, along with like in the with the other world of like this friendship she has with M, and like it pushing the boundaries of sexuality, and like, do I want to be this person? Do I want to be with this person? Like, I'm, all of these themes that come up, especially in that age, like that coming of age time of your life. I was like, this sounds incredible. I would love to be a part of it. Like, when do I start training?
Yeah. She got the bands out real quick.
Oh yeah. By bands, she means like Sarah bands.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you're a dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because of that, I know that ballet is sort of equal parts beautiful and terrifying.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's sort of like its own horror film in that way. Like, it just seems medieval and also beautiful.
Yeah.
Taking all of that into consideration, what were you most scared about when it came to, playing a character at the elite level? I mean, it just seems it's hard enough to just portray ballet at all, but these are like serious ballerinas.
Yeah, I was really just trying to educate myself and get in as much information as possible. But also just knowing that we did only have 3 months and 3 weeks to do all of this. So we just had to lower our expectations. We are both very hard on ourselves. So I think, they are true athletes, and they train usually from, as from when you're young, and we just didn't have that. And we didn't want to disrespect anyone. We also wanted to make sure we were doing it, as truthfully as possible, but we also had to be realistic. And that was scary, knowing that we had high expectations, and we wanted to get as close to it as possible, but it is impossible at the same time to
Yeah, it's a pretty gruesome, like you said, like medieval, yet such a beautiful art, like creative art. I mean, expression. I don't even know like the right word. Ballet is so many different things. It's a sport, it's an art, it's expression, it's like it's rigid, it's free, it's like so many different things, and like trying to understand all of that. There's so much opposition in like what ballet is and how your body even works to do ballet,
Yeah.
that it's like trying to learn all of that in such a short amount of time was really, really hard. And like Kristine said, we just were we were doing the best we possibly could, and like wanting to be respectful of the dance world. And so we hope that we were in this film.
What was it like to see the finished film and to see how all of your hard work blended with the dance doubles you had? And I mean, it looks so flawless in this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, that's special. I mean, I just remember getting into our first tutu, and I was so tired already by that point. It'd only been 3 months of strenuous training, and that was so rewarding. And then to just have gone through the actual shooting, and then COVID, and then going back into it, and now just like full circle seeing it on the big screen it's really rewarding.
Yeah, I mean, there were certain scenes that ultimately we learned all of the choreography, and when we would rehearse, we weren't on point ourselves, obviously, because that would be dangerous and like irresponsible, but we learned everything, we learned everything. We did as much as we possibly could, and like ultimately I'm not even sure which moments, like obviously anything on point, like I know it's not me, but other than that, like I couldn't tell you which is like what, because like when you have like a team of people that are helping you achieve, like reach a certain place to the best of your ability, it's like I don't know, it's like I'm like really proud of the work that we both did.
We were just consistent. We always got back up, and we had such a great space for it, but we finished, and we gave it our all.
Yeah, we tried our best.
Yeah.
Even though you weren't dancing on point, did you ever put the point shoes on to see what that would feel like?
Just once, and they got mad at us.
We had to like wear them all the time, like just in part of costume, obviously.
When I tried to go on my toes.
When we would try to go on our toes, they were like, guys, but like we would like do it privately. Although I feel like at the end we were like able to like do this.
It hurt. I couldn't do that.
Yes, you could. You got natural ballet feet. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
You see me like with my TheraBand trying to get an arch going.
Well, how did this whole experience feel working with Sarah Adina Smith through this? I mean, you guys were on it from the beginning. It sounds like you were a part of your characters evolving. What was it like to be involved in that way throughout this? Is it hard to know that not every project you do will be that way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know.
Every project's different.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't compare any of them.
Yeah, like ultimately Sarah was the captain of this ship, So I mean, we're lucky that she like was open to, how we felt about our characters. I can't speak for you, but like she was like open to hearing my thoughts on Kate or whatnot. But I think, I don't know, it's like there's what's on the page, and then there's rehearsal, and then there's like choreography, and then there's like on the day, and really through those rehearsals we built trust, and which left more room to play on the day, so but ultimately Sarah was our leader. She was the captain, and she was our director, and so she was like really her vision and her story. And I mean, I hope we told the story to the best of what she wanted, and that's like, that's like,
Well, it's said in the film that greatness has a price. And when it comes to ballet, we can certainly see the toll it takes, on the outside of dancers' bodies. Was there anything that doing this, did it give you an understanding or an appreciation of the dancers that do it that you just had no idea of before?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you have like an idea of like what dancers do and the lives they live, and then you like, it's like that old saying, like walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Like, yeah, try putting on point shoes and walking a mile in those. Like,
right.
Yeah, they're insane. Like their dedication is the discipline, the sheer force of like will power to do this day in and day out, the passion to do this day in and day out for like your entire life is so admirable. I have so much respect for them.
I'm right there with you, especially after going through all that.
We did like
it was just like 3 months. I know, like, yeah, but still, you know, it's not nearly as I have so much respect.
Do you feel like that there is a way to achieve that greatness without compromising your soul in some way, like all of these characters sort of have to do? I mean, when you're in a world like that is so competitive, is it hard to avoid some sort of compromise?
I'd like to think not. I mean, that you can, if you, I mean, you Kate goes through that. So
yeah, I mean,
when it's less about the validation, I think it's always, for me at least, it's always going back to the intention of why I'm wanting to do this, and then I think always taking a step back if it's, you know, if it's like messing up my mental health, or like if there's certain things that I'm realizing are not healthy, and then really taking a step back and questioning the path and the intentions, like I said. And I think if you have that sort of awareness, you can hopefully create this balance of I think if you're also feeling, I mean, we just talked about this in terms of our own industry too, of like, I
feel like playing dirty means you don't have trust that what's meant for you will happen. You know, and I feel like it's just having that trust and that like faith in the universe that you will not miss out on what is meant for you. So like, just keep on, like, focus on yourself and your own path, rather than like, how do I get rid of this person? Like, there are no roadblocks. There are no, like, the only enemy, you know, your biggest enemy is yourself. Your biggest competitor is yourself. Like, and you project that part of yourself, like the part that you're insecure about, onto other people and things. But like, really, it's like, it's so internal, you know, and you just have to like put the blinders on and like hone into where you're at. And like, stop worrying about everyone else and just let them be who they are going to be, you know?
Does it feel like you sort of have to get out of your own head the most when you go into audition for something? It seems like that's the time where it's the hardest to, you know, not get too attached to a role you don't know you're going to play, or to not worry about the other people.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it's been interesting with Zoom too. I mean, before, I would find it extra challenging when you went into a space and you saw the other girls that were sitting there, and I'd always get in my head about, either like we all look alike, and maybe they want that kind of version and I have to do that. Or like, sometimes they would send girls home, and the ones that would stay, I'd get in my head like, okay, well, why are they staying? And I would like focus so much on everything else besides just serving the story, and feeling confident in the choices in my own interpretation, and hopefully being able to adjust with the director and on the day. But it's been I'm still struggling with like having a healthy relationship with the ego, and you know, and not just, it's hard to get the negative thoughts out.
For me, it's like, I hate Zoom. I like hate Zoom auditions. They feel so impersonal, and I feel like it's really hard.
I hate the process. It's more so before.
It's like, yes. The moment before, you're like, huh. Yeah. But I feel like it's like, for me, it's like the actual audition itself, like being in the room, is the best part. Yeah. It's always waiting after. You know, you're like, oh God, like, did I, you know, that's the worst part. And then being like, and then you hear another name of who they like, and you're like, oh man, like, they're so different, and they're so cool. You're like, man, you know, but the actual being in the room and like getting to work creatively with the people, like, that's the best part.
That's the best part. Yeah.
It's like, at a certain point, you're just like happy to be there. And like, cause you're acting, you're doing the thing that you love. And after that, it doesn't even matter what happens. Like, really, cause then that really is just the, like
their vision.
And but the process is really like, if you don't love the process, then like, you don't love the thing itself.
No, you know, true. That's true. Yeah. That's all we have is that moment in there. Yeah.
It just seems like with this, it's the best kind of circumstance, because you knew you would be playing these characters, and then you were able to get too attached to them, because they seem like, how could you not get attached to characters like this?
Yeah.
Well, there's something about this whole world that it feels like when you watch this, Jacqueline Bisset sort of embodies all of that. So what was it like to have the experience of working with a legendary actress like her, and just she just was kind of scary in this to me. So what was it like to work with her in these scenes and then, not be interacting with her as characters?
I mean, she's just a force of nature, and it was amazing just to watch how focused she was and how present she was, and she would always just keep you on your toes. Like you could not be present with her in a scene, and that was incredible. And off screen, I mean, she was just so lovely, and you could ask her questions and she would be there for it. But
I feel like she was a little method with me as like Kate, because I felt like off camera I was still like, I want her approval so bad,
It was there.
And then on rap day, it was so funny because on rap day she was like, "You're very talented," and I was like, "You liked me this whole time." But I think she did it on purpose because I think she wanted to like really keep us in this environment, because she knows better than me. Like, working with someone like that is so humbling, because you're in the best position because you have everything to learn and everything to gain from this person.
Yeah.
And that's the time when you sit back and you just watch, and you just experience it. She's incredible.
What's next for each of you? Do you know what you're going to be doing next? Are you trying to figure out, are there very different things you have to think about now that you're also working in a world with all these new safety protocols?
Yeah, I mean, I just wrapped on another show that was really fun where I got to play Betty Ford, and she's meant a lot to me, and all that she's done with the Ford Center and everything that she's, how much she's talked about addiction and all that. So that was incredible. And that comes out next year, and I have another movie coming out, but I'm just hustling.
Yeah.
I just celebrated this, and on to the next. We'll see what happens.
I filmed season 2 of Space Force this last like April to June. It's been like hard with the pandemic because pre-pandemic you could work out 2 projects at once.
Yeah, now it's
so I've had a couple things that I wasn't able to do because of my commitment to my show, and I feel like, it's hard to say what the world would look like if there wasn't COVID, but like the reality is, you have to kind of really just be patient. And like I said earlier, it's like, you will not, I know I won't miss out on like what's meant for me. So I'm just going to celebrate this and, keep on keeping on.
What is the experience of doing that show like? Because it seems like, kind of a wild experience.
It's really fun. We were in Vancouver for season 2 because like COVID, and Greg Daniels was shooting his other show already in Vancouver. So it was just like, it made sense to just move us up there. So I think it was just really, really fun. And like, we had a good time, and we kind of forgot we were in a pandemic, which is the best. It feels good when you're on set and you're just so present with the people that you're with, that you which is like, it was like with Birds of Paradise too. Even though we had COVID going back for round 2, like it didn't really feel like that because we had our own safe space, and that's like same kind of thing up there, and lots of karaoke nights.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It was really fun. We watched, I don't want to spoil my own rest when I have to do that later, but we watched a lot of like 90s like blockbusters together, which was fun.
No way.
Yeah, Face Off, insane film.
Wow.
Fantastic.
What a
Thank you both for talking to me about this. You really do tremendous work in this. I was so impressed with both of your performances, acting and dancing in it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to me about it.
Thank you.
Have a good one.